Today's episode is one I hold with tenderness because it's one so many women are living through quietly, courageously, and often alone. We're talking about postpartum depression, what it looks like, what it feels like, and what it means to navigate it in 2026. And I want to say this before we go any further. If you are in it right now, if you are trying to hold yourself together while holding a baby, if you are smiling on the outside and unraveling on the inside, you are not broken, you are not failing, you are not alone, and this episode is for you.
Welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. This podcast was designed with you in mind. If you're ready to erase the norm and embrace the truth, come pull up a chair, grab a journal, and tell a friend that your favorite Jersey girl is back with another episode. So let's get into it.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. I'm your host and favorite Jersey girl, Shara Renee. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you for coming, and I hope you stick around and become a part of the community. In this space, we focus on things that we cover up and learn tips and ideas that will transform our minds and prepare us for the new and best versions of ourselves. So with that being said, let's get into today's episode. Postpartum depression in this day and age doesn't always look like the dramatic scenes we see in movies. Most of the time, it looks like a woman who appears to be fine to everyone else. Postpartum depression looks like a mom who loves her baby deeply but feels disconnected from herself. A woman who is exhausted beyond language. A woman who feels guilty for not bouncing back. A woman who is overwhelmed by the pressure to be everything. A woman who is grieving the version of herself she used to know. Or a woman who feels lonely even when she's never physically alone. Now, in 2026, postpartum depression often hides behind the perfect Instagram post, the I'm okay text, a clean house that looks and took everything she had, right? A smile that feels heavy, and a body that's healing in ways no one can see. And because we live in a world that celebrates productivity, perfection, and getting back to normal, so many women feel like they have to suffer in silence. But I wanted to do this episode because I wanted you guys to know you don't have to. I want you to know that there is an invisible weight that mothers carry. And for those of you who are not mothers or are surrounded by moms who may appear to have these signs, I want you to be aware of these things so you can be a little more sensitive to the weight that they're carrying. Postpartum depression is shaped by the world we're living in. And it's always the pressure to be the gentle parent, the pressure to breastfeed, the pressure to snap back physically, the pressure to return to work quickly, the pressure to be grateful even when you're overwhelmed, the pressure to do it all without asking for help. And on top of that, many women are navigating sleep deprivation, hormonal changes, identity loss, relationship changes, financial stress, social isolation, the mental load of motherhood. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a lot. And to be honest, it's too much for one person to carry alone. But yet, so many women feel like they should be able to handle it all. Postpartum depression is not a reflection of your strength. It's a reflection of your humanity. I wanted to talk about this because in this pregnancy, I found myself going through this, and to be honest, I still am. If you've ever caught yourself saying or feeling any of the following feelings, then chances are you're right there navigating this with me too. Some days can feel like you don't feel like yourself. You're overwhelmed by everything. You're numb to everything. You're crying and you don't know why. You feel guilty for not enjoying this season of having this beautiful brand new baby. You feel disconnected from that baby, your partner, and even yourself. You feel like you're failing and you feel like you're disappearing. I want you to know this hard truth. Feeling this way does not make you a bad mother. It makes you a mother who's going through something real. And your feelings are valid, and that makes you human. If we're being honest, there have been many moments during this journey where I looked in the mirror and I didn't fully recognize the woman staring back at me. I felt like I lost pieces of myself in the beautiful, overwhelming, disoriented process of bringing this beautiful life into the world. I definitely struggled with identity loss after birth, and that's that quiet, invisible shift that so many women experience but barely name out loud. I feel this is sometimes accompanied with postpartum depression because most of the time it looks like you're feeling disconnected from your old routines. You're not knowing what you enjoy anymore. You're feeling like your personality has shifted. You're missing your independence. You're feeling guilty for wanting pieces of your old life back. And you're wondering if you'll ever feel like yourself again. There's a version of you that existed before the baby, before the hormones, before the sleepless nights, before the constant giving, before the mental load that never turns off. And when that version of you suddenly feels far away, it could feel like grief. And here's the truth. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't fail. You didn't lose yourself because you're weak. You lost yourself because you became someone new. And you haven't met her fully yet. I told you guys in the last episode that motherhood is all about becoming, not a role. There is no off switch, so make sure you like the version you're evolving into. No one can prepare you for the shift, just like grief we experience when losing a loved one. It's the kind of grief of letting go of spontaneity, letting go of uninterrupted time. You got to let go of the body you knew. You got to let go of the freedom you had. You got to let go of the woman you were before motherhood reshaped you. It's important for you to know, and this was something I had to learn, you can love your child deeply and still miss the version of yourself who existed before them. And both can be true, and both are allowed. Now, as I mentioned again in a previous episode, I had no plans of returning to this mic anytime soon, but I knew I had to rebuild my identity after childbirth. And it didn't happen in one big moment. It happened in small, quiet ways. So here's what that may look like. It could be the first time you do something just for you. It could be the first time you say, hey, I need help. It could be the first time you feel joy that isn't tied to motherhood. The first time you reconnect with an old passion. The first time you choose rest without guilt. Or the first time you feel a spark of your old self returning. Identity doesn't snap back, it unfolds. It rebuilds. It reimagines itself. I want you to remember you are not going back to who you were. You're meeting who you're becoming. For those of you who love to journal, here is a reflection and some questions for you this week. For my postpartum girlies, ask yourself the following. What emotions have I been holding in because I'm afraid to say them out loud? What do I need right now that I haven't given myself permission to ask for? Where in my body am I carrying the most tension or exhaustion? What would support look like for me in this season? What truth am I ready to admit to myself? Let these questions meet you where you are, not where you think you should be. For those struggling with identity loss, I want you to ask yourself, what parts of me feel missing right now? What parts of me feel new? What do I miss about who I used to be? What do I appreciate about who I'm becoming? And what small thing can I do this week that feels like me? Let these questions be your doorway and not a demand. Before we close, I want to speak to your spirit. You are not lost. You are in transition. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not disappearing. You are expanding. There is a version of you on the other side of this season who is wiser, softer, stronger, and more grounded than the woman you were before. You haven't met her yet, but she's coming. And when she arrives, she will make sense of everything you're feeling right now. You are allowed to grieve who you were. You are allowed to honor who you are. And you're allowed to grow into who you're becoming. And you don't have to rush any of it. I'm proud of you. I see you. And you're doing better than you think. I pray you feel seen in the places you've been hiding. May you feel held in the moments you're alone. May you remember that your worth is not measured by the energy, your productivity, or your perfection. May you give yourself permission to rest, to feel, to ask for help, and to heal. And may you know deep in your bones that you are doing the best you can. And that's enough. You are not alone in this. You are not broken. You are becoming, even here and even now. And I'm proud of you for surviving the days no one knows about. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you again for allowing me to create this safe space for you. Until next time, I want you to remember, you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. So until next episode, you guys, bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to leave a review. You can follow Shira on all major platforms and on YouTube at Shira Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.